with positive intelligence and the mental fitness program, let's see, over 2 years ago now, and I've been doing the practices myself for that long. And I have to say, from my own experience, positive intelligence and practicing the mental fitness program has changed my life in huge ways. And if someone told me that it would do this for me in the beginning, I would not believe them. And it wouldn't really quite make sense to me before I started all this to have someone tell me that it would change my life for the better. Because I thought my life was pretty good at the time. Already, I didn't know what better might look like. So, and I didn't know that there was even a want or a need for that. So, that's really an important thing to take note of in yourself, if you might be feeling that way as I'm telling you this story. So I started mental fitness and positive intelligence just over 2 years ago with Shirzad and Bill, and have learned a tremendous amount. And where it has shown up for me when we were asked the question, what has positive intelligence done for you and how has it changed your life? This is what came up for me, this story about how it's affected me. In 2012, my husband of 30 years let me know he wanted out of the marriage. And he didn't give me much information about what was driving that. There wasn't a lot of discussion about what I wanted. I thought he was struggling and needed some help, but he believed he needed to be out of the marriage. And we'd been married for 30 years. We had 2 children in their early 20s, and I had been a stay-at-home mom. Our children were adopted at birth, and one of them faced some major challenges. So it was important for me to be available to help her out at a moment's notice. So I gave up my career in nursing and as an instructor at university, and to become a stay-at-home mom. That felt right for me, and I was happy to be able to do that and was grateful that my husband supported that. And then the marriage ended in 2012, and I fell apart. I was a basket case. I talked about being flattened and that I could barely get back on my feet. It sent me into a deep depression, and this is when a year after he left, I started the coaching program with CTI. My sister, bless her heart, has worked in human resources for decades, and she felt that it was a natural fit for me to learn to become a professional coach. And because that's what I was doing naturally anyway with my teaching and group work that I'd been doing. So that's when I got involved in CTI and did the CTI leadership program that year in 2013-14. And that helped me get back on my feet. But I never quite felt fully myself again. All those years I did coaching and learned more and more. I'm a learning addict. So I was always learning more about the coaching world and how to assist other people, and becoming more and more aware of myself and how I was in the world and how I showed up or didn't show up. And then a friend invited me to join her in the positive intelligence program. And I hummed and hawed about it and thought, oh, do I need another course? I've taken so many. What's it going to do for me? Went through the usual ruminations about, do I want to spend my time doing this? Is it worth it financially? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I decided to jump in and did the 6-week program with Shirzad, and then knew right away it would be beneficial for me, and signed on for the 6-month program with Bill and Shirzad after that initial 6 weeks. And it has changed my life. I can honestly say that. And it's changed my life in a way I hadn't expected. I was remarried 3 years ago, and just before the COVID pandemic got rolling on the planet. And my new husband, had a different viewpoint than I did about the whole thing. And it wasn't the difference in our viewpoints that was the issue. It was the way he was speaking to me and treating me because of my different viewpoint that became the issue. And I have recently, in the last few months, left him because we couldn't sort out our differences, and we couldn't learn to live with our differences in a comfortable, collaborative way. And so I felt the only option was to leave the marriage. And this is where I discovered how valuable the positive intelligence program is. I did not become flattened by what was happening, even though it was very painful. I did not lose my way and my voice, and I didn't become mute and non-functional the way I was at the end of my first marriage. I was able to hold my own. I would occasionally lose it, as would be expected in a divorce situation, but I've maintained my inner strength. Excuse me, my voice is going. I've maintained my inner strength and my positivity about life and about my relationships with other people. And I feel more powerful now than I have ever felt in my life, and more aware of myself. And I did not feel any of that at the ending of my first marriage. And yes, they were different. The way they split up was different, but also the way I have been is different. And that's what the positive intelligence program has done for me. It's changed my life. I cannot see myself going back to the helpless, isolated woman I was at the end of my first marriage. So the other thing that's happened is my relationships with my children have just become so rich and powerful, and we are closer than we've ever been before because of the way I'm showing up when I meet them and when we talk. And that's because of the positive intelligence program and the self-awareness I've gained because of that, and my deeper understanding of how people's saboteurs intersect with each other, how their sage intersects with each other, how we impact ourselves and other people because of the sage and the saboteur makeup we have. So I just can't say enough about the power of this program. And I'd be happy to talk to anybody about it if they're interested. Thank you.